Hello everyone, this is Jake Symbol ASMR, and I thought I would help you fall asleep with some sounds and some visuals from my Fidget cube. If you can call it a cube, because it only has, it has a whopping 12 sides, which is, I think, twice as many as the normal cube has, so it's like 2 cubes. And as you can tell, I'm also going to be doing an asinine ramble in a soft-spoken voice. My 60-second Fidget cube review that I did was pretty well received, and I really enjoyed making it. I really enjoyed how it turned out visually, and I was just really happy with it, so I thought I would make a whole full-length version of it. Except kind of more of a random ramble this time. This isn't really a review. I just thought the Fidget cube is so relaxing to even look at, and sometimes I find it really relaxing to watch someone else like fidget or do some kind of handiwork or something. And it makes some pretty nice sounds, in my opinion. The rubber pad is my favorite. I love the texture of it against my fingers. And those 3 globes, whatever they are, like the yellow, pink, and green things on there, they kind of stress me out because I don't really know what to do with them, but they look cool, so whatever. When I go to bed, it's just funny that I'm saying whatever, because that's why I really enjoy sleep sometimes, is if I'll have a stressful day, or I'll have something on my mind, and I get really worked up and I find it hard to I don't know, control my thoughts and feelings sometimes, but sometimes I'll get to a point where my body just is so ready for sleep, and everything I was worried about, it's just whatever. I get several hours to just go elsewhere, go into my brain, and that's one way I try to calm myself, is when I'm going to bed, I'll be no, now you get to sleep. Whatever's happening, it's the middle of the night. You don't have to deal with that right now. And if you don't sleep, you're not going to be able to deal with it. Excuse me. So yeah, I when I make ASMR, I try to my main guide to what to do and how to do it is just what works for me. I know I'm just one viewer, but I think about how I fall asleep to ASMR almost every night, and I always, I never feel like I'm ready to sleep, and then I'll start listening, and I 99, I mean, I always have talking in the ASMR videos I listen to. That's just my preference. But it's always in listening to someone talk about some topic, any topic, just like following their train of thought on some simple thing that I don't have deep stakes in, and then, and then I find myself drifting off, and I'm like, great, it's like, works every time, even when I have tingle immunity, which I am pretty tingle tolerant at the moment because I've been listening to so much ASMR. I started recently, there's a big trend in ASMR right now. I think it's becoming more and more popular to do like random, fast, aggressive, unpredictable triggers. And I've actually just started listening to stuff like that. And it never was my type of thing, but now it is. Now I understand, because like, once you become tolerant to tingles, you need more and more. I find myself needing more and more, like, triggers and stuff to get my tingles. But, I mean, just a pro tip, if you just take a break from ASMR for a while, you'll come back and you'll be able to get tingles again. It's just because it becomes predictable to you. Yeah. But whether or not I'm having tingles, like the sound of someone speaking softly or whispering always helps me fall asleep. So yeah, with these globe things on the Fidget cube, I found that if I just like, it has like a nice texture and shape, and you can kind of like, I don't know, it might feel nice against your fingers, although I'm still pretty confused. I really like this green thing though. This green, like, whatever it is, you can pull it out, and then when you press it down, it has this like light clicky click kind of thing going on, and it feels really nice, but you have to pull it back out every few clicks or it stops clicking. It's weird, but it's like a repetitive little game, and so I don't know, I find it really satisfying. It's a little bit like squeezing slime or what have you. I hope you are all enjoying your summer. I'm really enjoying the past few days. There's been nice weather and I've been walking a lot. I've tried to go outside every day this summer, even on the days where I don't have anything to do. It's a nice opportunity for a walk. And luckily, I live right near this road that I love to just walk straight down. And if I can just walk straight down there, and it's really pretty. And there's this park that I like going to. I've been taking like that same walk very often since quarantine began, and there have been times when it kind of got old to me, but like I just wait a while and I love it again. It's like the simple joy in my life, and it's part of it's part of I really try to enjoy that walk in particular in the spring and summer, because obviously it's not nearly as pretty or pleasant when the winter comes. So I've also, at work, we started going back into the office on on like a limited basis, so I'll usually be alone in the office, but on the days that I go to work, I get to wake up early, and I know I get to wake up early, but honestly, when I have the fortitude or the necessity to get up early and get outside when the weather is nice, even when the weather is not nice, it is always such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure to be outside and busy in the morning. That's what's funny is I know that waking up early is such a pleasant, like, it's so the morning is so pleasant. Waking up early and starting your day early is such a pleasant experience, and like, if I had like 100% complete control over my body, I would get up at like 7 every day and go for a walk. And in my dream life, I'd be doing some kind of manual work that is not too terrible. Very close to my house. Even in winter, it could be really nice. And I would make a very nice living wage that gave me just enough to pursue happiness. I think that's sort of everyone's dream. That's sort of one of my motivations in like the volunteering and the activism I do, is just like thinking about a dignified life and what would bring joy. And I'm not talking about like excessive consumption and stuff. I'm talking about actual joy, security, safety, community, things like that. I want that for myself, and I think everyone has a right to that. So, I don't know. I just think about like, it's this simple, I just because I started talking about this walk, it just makes me reflect that the simple pleasures like that in my life really help me clarify what matters to me. Because I don't feel like I seek I feel like when I seek luxury, hedonism, things like that, I feel like I am making up for something or trying to like stimulate myself in a way that I'm not getting, or I don't know. But really, like, I just want peace and love and all that. Honestly, I do. Like, I think that some stress and some struggle is unavoidable and even necessary, but I feel like there are a lot of things imposed on us that are not just facts of life, that are there because of the type of world we live in, the type of class structure we were born into. I haven't done any real on my feet labor for a living since college and just after college when I worked in like kitchens and stuff, so I don't mean to romanticize it. But I also think like manual labor is a joy if you're working a reasonable amount in a safe way, and you're taken care of and able to take care of yourself. you're not getting worked to the bone. I think of this because when I was 23, I went to the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation in the deep winter, and this is North Dakota. So it was very, very, very cold. But I was in an army tent with other people who were there kind of standing the ground, and I was washing dishes morning to night. This is one of the most important experiences of my life, so if you know me personally, you've probably heard me talk about it. But yeah, I remember there was such a sense of purpose and community there. It was me and a few dozen other people, and then a lot of people would come in and out from across. It was a very, very large camp. But I stayed at, there were like quote unquote camps within the camp, so mine was like the Michigan camp. And it was sort of made up of people from Michigan. It was just our way of like, I guess, like finding familiar ground when we meet each other. It was obviously a lot of native people of all different nations. In the Michigan one, it was Anishinaabe people, which includes the Ojibwe and the Potawatomi. Those were the two nations that I remember people from at the camp. But we all had the same sense of purpose. We were all kind of standing ground together, and we were doing manual labor. It was freezing cold. We had to get up early and start a fire, and our water was frozen, so we had to put these big water jugs we had next to the wood stove and wait for it to thaw so that we could have water. Like, we would pour water in some buckets, and then it would be breakfast time, and I would help a little bit with the cooking, but primarily I just manned the dish washing station. And it was nothing like the kitchen and food service work I had done prior. I don't know, it was repetitive, but I just felt like I was working for myself and for the people around me, and that we were working for each other and for a greater cause together. So yeah, it was very tiring work. I was covered in soot when I left that camp. I was there for like 2 weeks, and I just remember I was covered in soot because, like, wood stove and everything, and my feet would get sore, and it was very, very cold. Despite all of this, I really found joy in it. And you can really, I don't know, when you do manual labor like that, you can really see the fruits of your labor, like, right before your eyes. Whereas now I work in an office, and I will never complain about working a job without high physical demands that pays well. I will never complain. I think everyone deserves a lot of the privileges that I have. Shouldn't even be privileges. Like a dignified job and a decent wage and healthcare and stuff like that, but I'll never complain about that. But at the same time, I sometimes wonder, like, where is my work going? It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre, because with manual work, or when you can see what is happening in front of you, there's just a satisfaction in it. Whereas what the result, like the palpable result of my work, is kind of far off and out of sight, because I'm just like doing stuff in like an administrative system on my computer. I really love my coworkers though. They're really lovely, and I've been at this job for a long time, so not complaining, just kind of, it's interesting. If any of you, I did not expect to get onto this topic, but if you have opinions about this, I'd love to talk about it in the comments. Anyway, that concludes our time. I hope by now that you are fast asleep, or ready to be fast asleep. If you are still awake, and you enjoyed this video and it helped you fall asleep,